is Stoner?
You know what, boy? I think I might.
Good run, Turd. Good run. You're good.
Damn, son.
What's up, my dudes? It's Turd, your PS4 Dead by Daylight educational content creator. Many of you beautiful people have been asking me, hey Turd, when are you gonna make a video on how to loop and rotate Gideon's Meat Plant, or more commonly known as the game? Well, I'll tell you what, my dudes, I fucking got you. The game, hands down, is the most killer-sided map in Dead by Daylight. And honestly, a lot of that is the survivor's fault. Yes, you heard me correctly. And let me explain why. With outdoor maps, it is much easier for survivors to rotate from tile to tile, because when the killer is chasing the survivor, they can see pallets and they can see jungle gyms from a mile away. So their reaction time doesn't have to be instantaneous like it does with indoor maps. And this is why the majority of survivors do not like indoor maps. They fucking hate them. And that's because in indoor maps, your vision is limited to the room that you're confined in. You cannot see a pallet or a jungle gym 30 meters away. You can only see what's in that room. So when you leave that room and you enter a new tile or a new room, now you have to observe what's in that room and react instantly to that. This is why you see chases last 10 seconds or 20 seconds in indoor maps. It's because the survivors don't understand or don't know what the next tile is. So when they get in there, the reaction time isn't quick enough and the killer downs them. However, if you can memorize the layout of the indoor maps so that when you enter a new tile, you can identify what the tile is and where a pallet or a window or door would be in that tile, you can react to it much faster than if you didn't memorize it, giving you a chance to escape chase or at least extend a chase from 10 seconds or 20 seconds to 40 seconds or 50 seconds. But that's just part of it. To understand fully why this map is so killer-sided, we need to look at the layout of the game. The game consists of two floors, an upper level and a lower level. Each level has a 4x4 16 tile layout that is stacked directly on top of each other, making the map smaller than it actually is. This is where you run into your problems, because no matter what killer you're facing, you're going to be on edge. You're going to be scared to work on generators. Let's say you're going up against a killer with a 32-meter terror radius, which is pretty standard. Well, if the killer is in the middle of the map, their terror radius extends the entire length of the map. And that doesn't matter if they're on the top floor and you're on the bottom floor, or vice versa. You're going to hear it and you're going to be on edge, not knowing if they're coming for you. And God forbid you're playing a stealthy killer, because if you are, you better have a clean pair of panties next to you, because there's a good chance you're going to shit yourself. When it comes to memorizing indoor maps, you don't want to try to memorize the entire map as a whole, because this tile might be here during one trial, but then the next trial the RNG might place it over here. So what you want to do is memorize the tiles individually, so that when you enter the tile, you can quickly identify what the tile is and be like, oh, there's a pallet that spawns here. There could be a pallet that spawns here. There's a hole that drops down right here. You get what I'm saying? So what I do and what I highly recommend is get a couple buddies and go into custom games and just study each tile, so that when you see the tile in the game, you can react fast.
This map is gonna be deadly.
Okay, I spawn in at one of the exit gates. Now, both the exit gates are always going to be on the exact opposite sides of the map, and the hatch will always spawn on the lower level. When I spawn into a trial, there are three things that I want to do right away. Locate where the basement is, identify who the killer is, and I want to work on a high priority generator. On this map, there's only one location for the basement, and that's on the lower level right next to the bathroom. As far as where the killer spawns in this map, your guess is as good as mine. Literally, the killer can spawn upstairs, downstairs. Usually he spawns in the corner, but you really don't know. And that's why I spend a little bit of time trying to identify who the killer is before I start on a generator. When it comes to gen priority on this map, there really isn't any. Every generator is important. Every generator is extremely hard to finish. And that's because this map is small, and the killer can traverse from top floor to bottom floor or vice versa very easily, making the 80-second start to finish repair time seem like eternity. That's why I recommend, if you can, work on generators with at least 2 survivors, cutting it down to 47.5 seconds, or with 3 survivors, 33 seconds. A lot of survivors struggle to find generators on on this map. So here's a helpful tip. The majority of generators on this map are connected to a sliding door. And when the generator is fully repaired, the sliding door will open. So if this sliding door was closed, I know that there would be a generator right here or on the other side of the wall. But because this sliding door is already opened, I know that there is no generator right here. Now I have the perk Bond Tier 2, which will allow me to see the aura of any survivor within 28 meters. And the fact that Dega is in the middle of the map, his spine chill is going off, and he does not hear a terror radius, we can identify this killer is a stealthy killer.
Must be downstairs.
So we think the killer's downstairs, so that's exactly where I'm gonna head, because I want to get chased. My other teammate Moon just announced that she is cleansing a hex totem. And there's a saying, if it glows, it goes. And I'm all for that for the most part. Especially since there's only one hex totem, when cleansed, that will hurt the survivor, and that's haunted grounds.
Oh god.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's fine.
The other option is to wait until the killer hits a survivor, because if it is haunted ground, the survivor is already injured and is one shot regardless. Haunted ground gives all the survivors the exposed status effect for 60 seconds, which means we are all an insta down. And you can see that status effect on the right hand side of your screen along with the timer countdown. You know, I came down here to get chased and now I instantly regret that decision.
I'm just camping.
Okay, my spine chill goes off. I've got the EB-jibbies. I do not want to be down here anymore because I'm fucking terrified. Spine chill counters all stealthy killers. However, on this map, it works against you because you don't know if the killer's upstairs or downstairs.
He's got the red
Oh,
devil skin on.
fuck. Well, luckily for me, I don't think either one of us expected that. Now, anytime Ghostface makes an attack while in Night Shroud, it's going to pull him out of his ability. However, I am still exposed for another 30 seconds from haunted grounds. As I run up the stairs, I quickly identified that the tile straight ahead of me is unsafe. There might be a pallet RNG spawn in between the storage shelving, so I'm going to turn to the right. Unfortunately, this tile is no better. There might be a pallet spawn in between the storage shelves, but I'm expecting to go down.
I'm going to be going down here in a second.
Okay guys, I got a lot to talk about here, both killer-sided and survivor-sided. Okay, first things first, look at the killer's red stain. He is on my ass. I mean, he is so close to me, he could be literally fingering my butthole right now. Now, I see that there is no pallet here, but Ghostface doesn't know that. So instead of following me, he decides to come around this side of the crates, so that if there is a pallet and I throw it down, he can hit me from the back side of the pallet. But he makes two mistakes here. What he should do, because he's so close to me, is just continue to follow me and hit me through the pallet. And if somehow I get the pallet down, where am I gonna go? I'm zoned, I'm in a corner. He breaks the pallet, I'm fucked. His second mistake is he underestimates my skill. And as soon as I see what he's doing and he loses line of sight, I double back and now I can make it to the next tile. Now, I identified this tile as a very safe tile because of the pallet drop to the lower level, which directly below this tile is always going to be a T&L loop. When I get to this point, I'm going to look over the crates to see if Ghostface is still following me. If he is still following me, I'm going to run through the pallet, throw the pallet down so it's going to drop me to the T&L. And it's going to create a barrier between him and the drop. But I don't see Ghostface, and I know he's hesitating. So I'm going to preserve the pallet and just drop down to the T&L. Okay, Ghostface just dropped down. And now I'm going to do a nasty 360 followed by a sidestep tech. And now I'm ready to loop him at this T&L. The 60-second haunted ground exposure effect has now expired, so now I'm not an insta down. The T&L loop at this map is a little different than your normal T&L. It has protruding pillars that you can get stuck on. So right here, I decide to take a hit and rotate to a new location. Normally, I wouldn't want to throw this pallet, but because I have high situational awareness, I know that if I can loop him a little bit longer, 3 generators will pop. Okay, my dudes, this is very important. Listen up. You see this staircase sign? This lets you know that this structure has a staircase that'll let you get to the upper floor. But more importantly, do you see the directional arrow to the right? That means if I was to go to the right, that's how I can get up the stairs. But in real-time normal speed, I missed the sign because my eyes were drawn to the aura of the survivor working on the generator. Unfortunately, my hands are tied, and I'm gonna have to bring the killer close to the survivor that's almost got this generator completed. When going up a staircase that's on a perimeter tile, meaning not one of the 4 tiles in the middle of the map, there's a good chance when you get to the top that there's a pallet spawn to the left. The random survivor just got hit, and I don't know if she's going to pull the killer up towards me, so I'm going to leave this area. But right here, I should have realized that she's taking the killer away from that generator, and I should go down and finish the generator that she had almost finished. But for purposes of this video, I am really glad that I didn't do that, because I'm about to go on another really long chase.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have your dick waving around.
The random is bringing the killer up to me. Now, if Ghostface turns to the right, I need to stop healing, go through the pallet, and throw the pallet. Now, what that's going to do is create a barrier between the killer and myself, and I'm going to be on the lower level, ready to escape chase. If Ghostface follows Claudette and turns to the left, I have to decide whether or not I have enough time to fully heal up before he hits me, or leave right away before I fully heal up. Now, if I leave before I heal, I'm only going to be able to get to the next tile before I either go down or I have something to loop at. But if I can heal before he hits me, he's going to have to stop and clean off his weapon while I get an injury sprint burst and create distance before I find a tile that I could use to loop. That big brain play allowed me enough distance to run through 3 tiles to get to the workshop, which is the safest tile on this map. The pallet that I'm at right now is a very strong pallet. You can loop it around the workbenches. You can also loop going up and down the steps. In the control room, there is a vault window that you can loop going through the vault window and up the steps. There's also another strong pallet at these workbenches, and then there's a drop down to the bathroom, tucked away in the corner by the window vault. If I was fully healed, I would play this loop differently. However, I am injured, and so I have to play it a little bit more on the safe side. You see, like right here, I might be able to make it one more time around the loop, but I'm not 100% confident, and I don't have Dead Heart, which I normally do. And if I did have Dead Heart, I could go around this at least 1 to 2 more times. So I'm gonna throw the pallet and play it safe. You know, it's a little concerning that only 1 generator has been repaired, considering the amount of time that I've kept Ghostface busy.
I don't want to have to use both of these pallets, but if I have to, I have to.
Use them, but
I know that I can loop him here for a while. Fuck yeah, Ghostface is trying to do a sick play on me. It's not going to work, but it's a really dope play. So what he just did is crouched and at the exact same time activated his Night Shroud ability, which will hide his red stain, give him no terror radius, and he's being sneaky behind these workbenches. Unfortunately for Ghostface, I know that you can see underneath workbenches. So I'm going to reposition myself here and look under the workbench for a crouching Ghostface. Since I don't see him, I know that he's crouched walking to the other side, so I'm going to change my camera angle to locate him, react off of what he does, and then continue the loop.
Nice play on his part.
Okay, I get a pallet stun, which breaks him out of his Night Shroud ability. If he breaks the pallet, I'm going to drop into the bathroom and rotate out. And if he didn't break the pallet, then I would have vaulted the pallet and continued to loop him there.
I don't know if I can get over there.
Okay, I'm going to throw this pallet to create distance, and with that distance, I'm going to loop him outside of chase. Meaning I'm going to maintain distance by using pathing that might confuse him or discourage him from even chasing me. If he decides to continue to chase me, it's going to waste a lot of his time.
Downstairs.
I think at this moment, he realizes he needs to break away from me and find another survivor.
He left me.
No, he
I'm good.
just went stealth.
Nope, he went stealth. I'm going back upstairs.
That adorable scream you just heard
Found him.
was my teammate Moon shitting herself, because Ghostface left me and jump scared the crap out of her. Here you go, Moon. You can borrow my panties. This corner tile is a pretty safe tile as long as you have enough distance from the killer to make it to this vault. This vault will drop you down to the lower level, and if the killer decides to vault the window to follow you also, you're going to create distance on his slow vault. This is also a really safe spot to heal because you can see if the killer comes through either of the entrances. And if the killer comes up the stairs, you can vault to go to the lower level where there's an extremely safe pallet.
There he is.
He scared the living shit out of me. I was all like happily working on my gen. I churred, and then there he is. And I was like,
That's the thing about Ghostface. He'll do that.
I want to thank all you beautiful people for the love and support. Right now I'm at 437 subscribers and growing fast. If you like how I break down my videos, consider subscribing because it's free. And hit the like button because it takes less than half a second. And don't be shy, leave a comment because I get back to every single comment. And I recently made a Discord. Right now it's just a bunch of buddies fucking around playing Among Us and sending memes, but I do plan on it being a very interactive community. I just need you guys to join. Ghostface has activated his Night Shroud ability and is following Dega's scratch marks.
Yeah, I'm going to try to pull him out if he comes this way.
It takes less than 2 seconds to pull Ghostface out of his Night Shroud ability, provided that 33% of his body is in the center of your screen. Ghostface gets a hit on Dega, which automatically pulls him out of his Night Shroud ability. So he will not be able to use his ability for another 30 seconds. Later, dude. Yeah, Ghostface just walks right by me, and Dega should be able to run him for a good amount of time. Now, Moon's healing up, and I would imagine that she's going to jump on the generator that she was working on before she got hooked.
Alright, where's the gen?
And the random survivor just repaired her generator. So if Moon can finish her generator and I can find a generator and finish that one, we got the gates open, baby.
Yeah, I did. Two were done.
Okay, I found the generator that spawns in the upper level in the center tiles.
Middle gen upstairs.
My gen down here is at 75. I'm
Get on that.
In my opinion, this generator is the hardest generator to repair on this
Good
map,
loop, Dega.
even harder than the bathroom generator. And that says a lot considering that the bathroom only has one exit out of that room, and it's right next to the basement. 80 seconds to repair these really hard generators is a fucking long time. So, the best advice I can give to complete this generator and the bathroom generator is to work with multiple
Are you
survivors.
going to the
I'm in the
basement?
basement. One sec. Somebody's at my door.
Dega does a good job losing Ghostface, and in real life, there is someone at his door, so he's gonna go down to the basement and go AFK.
Jen's
Now,
at
I don't know
40.
if that would be my #1 spot to go AFK in, but I mean,
I don't know
you gotta
where
do
he's
what you
at.
gotta do,
I
right?
think he should.
I'm like 90% sure that Claudette's in chase,
upstairs.
yet I'm still scared
In the
that
middle.
Ghostface is just gonna peek around the corner and expose my ass.
Okay, that guy was down. I'm at 80%. I'm hoping I can finish this before he comes up and pops it.
Okay, Claudette goes down, and I'm pretty sure I can finish this generator before he comes over here and pop kicks it.
trying to find you.
I'm gonna finish it. Get to the door.
Claudette gets hooked, and kudos to her for running Kindred, because that is one of the best perks for solo queue survivors to run. Kindred is going to allow all of the survivors to see everyone's auras while she is on the hook. And more importantly, it's going to allow us to see the killer up to 16 meters from the hook. So right here, we see Ghostface is heading straight for Dega down in the basement because he's got barbecue and chili. Okay, Moon's going to prep the
He
gate
just
to
went
the
to
right while I go get the unhook on Claudette.
I'm basically at a door. Adrenaline for the win. I do need to get an unhook.
Moon tells me that she needs to get an unhook for one of her challenges, but it's a little too late.
Dega's
I'm already
fucking
over here
down.
and she's already at the gate.
In the basement.
Oh, I'll risk my life. I'll 99 this door and risk my life. Go get
He's
it.
not even back yet.
He's not back yet, so it's not worth it.
I'm gonna heal Claudette right
damn
here,
it.
and that's because 99.9% of the time, once the exit gates are powered, the killer is gonna go up to the upper level to try to stop them from exiting the gates. But if my spine chill happens to go off, then I'm gonna
Go ahead and go
inject
try it.
Claudette
Come on.
with my anti-hemorrhage
might as well.
syringe, which is gonna insta-heal her after 16 seconds.
Oh, he's on me.
Okay, Ghostface
Alright,
is
I'll
on
get the
Moon,
save.
and what would have been an easy escape for the three of us is now looking a little gloom. This is definitely a recipe for
just
disaster.
dropped down
However, I
right
will
there.
say that we all escape, even Dega.
We all escape if Dega doesn't leave, though. That's the bummer. Might.
Fucking Dega.
Apparently, Moon had Kindred also, which I had no clue. But that's great, because right here, it shows that Ghostface is heading back towards Dega in the basement. It also shows that our other survivor, Claudette, is working on the gate, which is closer
back
to
to
the
the basement.
unhook, which is going to make it
Yep.
easier for us to escape
Alright,
rather
well,
than
we
going
gotta
to the
leave,
other side of
so
the
I'm gonna
map.
grab you.
Ghostface realizes a
Let's
little
go.
too late that he should be protecting the hook instead of going to an AFK survivor in the basement. Now, I don't have borrowed time, so I need to make sure when I unhook Moon that I take the hit
I'll get
so
my
that we
challenge.
both have the chance to survive. But if I did have borrowed time, then when I unhook Moon, Moon needs to step forward and take the hit for me so that she gets a sprint burst, Ghostface stops and cleans his weapon, I can run behind Moon and take a hit if needed. In these situations, it's important to know
probably
who's supposed to
die,
take hits with borrowed time or without borrowed time. So I hope you guys understand that. Now Claudette
Great
opens
door.
the gate and was wise enough to take a hit from Moon, otherwise Moon wouldn't have made it out of this trial. So awesome job by the random survivor, you rarely see that, but it was nice to have a competent random survivor.
There's no point. You know what I mean?
Now you guys don't get to see this because in my eyes this game's already over.
point
You know,
giving the killer
Dega was
four
AFK.
tickets.
However,
Door, you know what I
Dega
mean?
comes back and he's got 3 crows flying around his head and
really
he's
good
injured
game.
in the
I'm gonna
basement.
save that.
But somehow, some way,
That's how
he
the
loops
challenge map
Ghostface
might
and
lose
gets
for
out of this
second.
trial alive. I wish I would have had that recorded.
The game, a double pip there.